All right, guys. So I decided to come on and shed some light on the Supreme Court case that came out today in regard to the Bruen, New York State Rifle Association lawsuit that is challenging New York's restrictive gun carrying laws. It seems that everybody on the left is losing their shit, and some of my buddies on the right are overly optimistic about what's going to happen with this case. So honestly, I read through the whole thing. I read through the concurring opinions, and something stuck out to me in Justice Alito's concurring opinion, where he said that nothing that was decided in this case will affect who can qualify to purchase a firearm, what that process and what the requirements may be for that person to purchase the firearm, and what type of firearm you're allowed to buy. So basically what they've said here is that they're not gonna dictate to New York State what the requirements they can make of people in order to purchase a firearm. The only thing that they've struck down in this case is the special need, the proper cause requirement, which is basically a discretionary tactic that New York State has been using in order to basically keep people from being able to carry their firearms once they've been granted the license to purchase it. So in reality, I don't think much is going to change here, because the process to be able to purchase a handgun, even if you just want to keep it in your house, is a very lengthy, very invasive process. And nothing is going to change with that process as of right now. There'll have to be further litigation in order for people to seek any changes to the process that New York has in place in order for you to be able to even purchase a handgun, right? So in order to purchase a handgun in New York State, one, you have to provide your lifetime driving history. All right, so if you have any tickets, any speeding tickets or anything like that, that can be used against you. Two, you have to provide your lifetime criminal history, which can include cases that were dismissed. So if you were simply, accused or arrested for something, but then it ended up that you didn't do it and you got acquitted, or the case got dismissed, you still have to provide information about that. You also have to get a signed letter by 3 people that recommend you to have good moral character. You also have to get a signed letter by anybody who lives with you in order to be able to have their authorization to have a firearm in the home. So I don't see those things changing right now. The only thing I do see changing is they have a clause that calls for proper cause in order for you to upgrade to a carry license where you can carry your firearm outside of your home. So that's going to be taken away, meaning if you've qualified to purchase the gun, now you can carry it, okay? In New York City especially, it could take you upwards of a year just to get an application through. You have to sit for an interview and wait months and months and months for them to call you for the interview. You then have to wait months and months and months after the interview for them to either approve you or deny you. And like I said, they're looking at your driving history. They're looking at anytime you've ever had contact with police. They're looking at your work history, if you've ever been fired from a job or anything like that. They're obviously looking at your mental history, if you've ever sought any type of therapy or anything like that. So it's already a very detailed and very invasive process as it is, and it seems to me that process is going to stay in place for the time being. So somebody's got to come up with a new lawsuit basically to strike down the application process, and then maybe you have a chance at having this free-for-all of guns in New York City. But for now, not much is going to change. Basically, the people that already have a license, they're going to be automatically upgraded to carry licenses if New York decides to even abide by this decision and not wait for further litigation to go to the lower courts in regard to these issues. But yeah, man, I think if you're a liberal, you don't have to cry about it. Nothing's happening. If you're a Second Amendment advocate, don't get too excited, especially if you haven't had your license to purchase a gun approved yet, because you're probably going to be waiting a year to get the license approved. If it gets approved, jump through all the hoops. Then once the license to purchase gets approved, then you can carry. So realistically, there's not much to see here. It does open the door for possible future litigation, but in my opinion, it's going to take years